Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to talk about Square Enix yet again. Now, Square Enix, for those of you that don't know, Square Enix is by far one of my favorite companies, or at least it used to be. Unfortunately, Square Enix has followed the same exact mantra that other AAA studios have followed, which is essentially giving in to the DEI nonsense, which is ruining AAA studios left and right. Now, unfortunately, it looks like Square Enix's recent decision to remove male and female from Dragonquest 3 HD 2D remake now has unfortunately led to the boycott of players worldwide.
Get the hell out of my life! Who needs you? Beat it! Leave me alone!
Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, let me preface this right off the bat. Do I think this boycott is going to do anything? Absolutely not. But what I do think is that, unfortunately for Square Enix, they don't exactly have the money or the resources to F around and find out anymore. They already effed around and found out twice, as it is already. They effed around and found out with Forspoken, and they effed around and found out with Marvel's Avengers. And eventually, it all leads to the same exact nonsense, which is, hey, we're going to spend an exorbitant amount of money to try to preach to people, and then people are going to repay us by not buying their game. So let's get into this article, guys, from That Park Place. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So it says numerous gamers announce boycott of Square Enix's Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake following the removal of male and female character options. Now, I've said this before when it comes to the whole A and B nonsense, is that when Eastern companies want to pander, when they want to get really free and easy ESG points, what do? They're not going to go with the super gay stuff, right? They're not going to go all in, which is what the West does. They're going to do some of the easiest, simplest things that don't really offend them. That's what they're going to go for. And ultimately, removing male and female for option A and B is what a lot of Eastern games do, right? Even Elden Ring does the same exact thing. Even Dark Souls does the same exact thing, right? They all do the A and B nonsense because it's a very easy way for them to bump their ESG scores, even if it's just a little bit. ESG scores are on a spectrum, right? You can go a little bit or you can go a lot. And ultimately, your funding is going to be based off what you provide in totality, right? So even if you do a little bit, you can still get something, essentially, versus getting absolutely nothing. It says numerous gamers announced their intention to boycott Square Enix's upcoming Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake after the company removed the option to select between male and female. This was reported about a month ago with this screenshot here that we showcased many different times where they really didn't change anything, right? A is still a male with a male voice, voiced by a male voice actor. B is still a female with the female voice, voiced by a female actor. So again, it's all following the same exact nonsense, and yet here we are. However, there is one thing in this game that has been censored that I really got to talk about, and that's the trolls, ladies and gentlemen. They censored the trolls because, again, you guys got to remember, Sweet Baby Inc. is one of the people that work with Square Enix. They're employed by Square Enix to be their sensitivity readers or their sensitivity checkers or whatever you want to call them. Following this confirmation that the game was added to Sweet Baby Inc. Detected Steam curated list, as well as Cabrutus Rambo's DEI Detected website, on top of the removal of the option to choose between male and female characters, Cabrutus cites that the game also censored the trolls in the game by removing their lips. He wrote, on a much more personal and nerdier level, and this one really pisses me off, I must say, is the censorship of the trolls' lips. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to be very clear. Sweet Baby Inc., or people who think like Sweet Baby Inc., will look at this troll, and you know what they're going to think to themselves? They're going to think racial caricatures of black people. That's what they're going to think. How sad is that? That you looked at this troll and you thought that the lips were so problematic that you had to censor it in this top picture here. I mean, every other iteration of the troll has always had those lips, and yet you want to censor it in this one because Sweet Baby Inc. got involved. They were like, oh, no, we can't do that. That's too close to home. We can't do that. So they censored the lips, and they feel like they're doing something with that. It's the small things, right? You got to think about it. It's the small things that they want to change before they ultimately change everything. It says, furthermore, Cabrutus Rambo also noted that Sweet Baby Inc. lists Square Enix as one of their clients, which we already knew. So again, McRav posted, no man/woman DEI censorship, you don't get my money. No man, woman DEI censorship, you don't get my money. It seems like he just basically spammed the same thing. The Kurgan added, DQ is my favorite Japanese RPG franchise, and I have to put this on ignore. He continued, I have played all the DQ games now, and in fact, just played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 again on the NSES Japanese versions. I even paid full price and pre-ordered DQ11, something I never do because I have too many games already. That being said, it pains me to put my favorite JRPG franchise on ignore now. You win, DEI nonsense. I won't spend any more money on you. That is sad. That is sad from the perspective of Square Enix, that they are willing to give up fans that have been supporting them for so long, fans that are making, like, fans that essentially made them who they are in the first place. They're willing to give all of it up just for DEI money, because the executives and every single employee in the upper C-level suite or higher all get their money up front without having to wait for the game to actually be successful in order to get any kind of money. So again, ladies and gentlemen, it is sad to see what's happening with Square Enix, and they're effing around and finding out. We got another example, Warrior of Light. SE disband your ethics department. I really hope they get rid of all these idiots before the next Final Fantasy games come out. They won't, by the way. They won't. I have no faith in Final Fantasy 17. It's quite unfortunate because I actually really liked Final Fantasy 16, but I have no faith in Final Fantasy 17 whenever that gets announced. Gamers are rejecting games that even have the smallest whiff of woke BS. I spent over $3,000 just on SE games on Steam. This doesn't include prior to PC gaming and physical stuff I have bought. I will not buy this game, even if it goes on sale. If you are tired of them pushing this BS on us, then vote with your wallet along with me, he concluded. His Shadow X wrote, take a little longer to remove the DEI. I'm not buying until the DEI is removed. Tyson L posted, don't buy over DEI. Square wants to keep DEI in the game and remove genders. Don't buy. Let this woke game lose money. Wonder what else has changed. Well, we found out it's the trolls, and there's probably other stuff too. Cora wrote, Dear Square Enix, no censorship allowed. If you're reading this, and you should be, I have one essential demand for you. Take your body type A and body type B options from this upcoming game and change it back to male and female. Oh, wait, what's that? There are a select few activists that will whine and scream at you for it. Tell them to grow up and stop being a bunch of babies. Otherwise, we'll boycott your game. Make the change now. Excuses will not be tolerated. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, think about this. They don't care about the activists, right? It's not about the activists. It's about how much money they can garner by simply doing small changes like this that will make them look even better in front of ESG investors when they're trying to go for that extra money, right? Like they're not caring about the activists, right? The activists don't spend money on their product, and they know that. There's only two people that spend money on their product: actual gamers and ESG investors, right? And ultimately, ESG investors are trying to spend more money than gamers are actually going to be able to subsidize the company with. So at the end of the day, man, it's going to be one of those things where these studios are going to pick the modern audience 9 out of 10 times. And who's that modern audience, you might be thinking? Well, that's the ESG companies that are trying to co-opt these corporations to begin with in order to push whatever the hell their message is. The message is the modern audience, ladies and gentlemen. Do not ever get it twisted. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy, and if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.